but I find that for me, home is where the frequency is, and the seed, the spirit that comes to this place and with Mandeep and everybody I've met, uh, it's not about size. It's about depth, and it's about each time from when you come from depth, right? When you find that place, you know where I'm coming from when I speak, right? You can do it by chakras, coming from here, here, here. You can do it from sense of self, right? Am I coming from just being very personal and yeah, that's me, but am I being authentic when I speak? And I come from a role that I'm playing, but still, I have that sense of heart, right? And I do a role. You ever had trouble with that? You got a role to play, and you got this, and it's like, how do I balance that, right? And then there's that thing we call like transcendent self. I love that one. But you go into kind of merger with all, that kind of, and when you're in that state, sometimes call it sentience, but you're kind of merged, so you're not really conscious, right? You're not looking at the plant or at am I okay? You're just with all. Does that make sense? So that's why it's sort of transcendent. It's not the same as a focus thing with a consciousness of something, right? Okay, but then you get personal and you go, oh, am I being authentic to what I know? So you have kind of a heart compass that guides you, from this personal place, right? And you got transcendent, and then you got this thing that really only ultimately comes with what we call Kundalini, i.e. awareness. And awareness is not consciousness. And awareness is not even the authenticity, okay? So I call it the unique self. I guess you could call it true self, but there's a uniqueness to it that means I can only know my unique self. This is the thing that comes with awareness, which is where real freedom lies. Because because if you're unique, right, you can't compare it to this one or that. Something unique is unique. It's not a little more of this and a little less of that. So there's this interesting phenomena that we experience when we go into our depth and we open our heart and do all the things that we try to do. We start to sense the difference between, infinite possibilities and fantasy versus potentia, things that could actually manifest, could actually happen. The difference between what our desires and wants are and the heart compass. To know that we're being this whole self, the whole body, and showing up and bringing something to that presence. Hopefully love, at least curiosity, definitely a sense of immersion and infusion of both the other and oneself in that moment. So do you know what I'm talking about? So to me, this is a lot of why I even started doing any of these practices. But that's why I started with Kundalini Yoga, Yogi Bhajan stuff in 1969. So I've been long enough to have some gray and to see a lot of things you wouldn't imagine. I won't tell you, but there's a lot of stuff. That would take the rest of the night. We don't want to do that. No old stories, okay? I know it's a tendency and get older, so. But, a long time. But that was my initial thing, was how do I know in depth? And I was working sciences. I was at Harvey Mudd College, Claremont colleges, graduate school, math, that kind of stuff, right? But I found the same exact problems, regardless of the level of skill, like in chemistry, intelligence in the philosophers. It didn't matter. There was something about the nature of our nature as human beings. And so I was just fascinated, I don't know, by that. So then I actually got out of grad school of mathematics. I had an ABD, like this, down to the last thing, going to do it. And then, I don't know, these, what do you want to call it? Messages, intuition, kairos, something came. And then I met a real Kundalini teacher right at the beginning. And I said, that's it. And boom, and I started teaching all over the world and forming all this stuff you do. So I don't know, there's something to me, I think it's just that I love humans, but I love this capacity to imagine infinity, to show up in circumstances where you shouldn't have any compassion and yet you do. Where you should forgive when there's been offense, and instead you choose love and you repair. And that's why I used to call it pre-forgiveness. Once you have a self, once your heart is clear, once you've sort of opened up the meridians and the flows and all that stuff we talk about, you can show up and continue to grow these things that are amazing.